Welcome to the Lighthouse. So happy to be here with you today in the invisible ashram. So welcome to our community of practice, the village of integrative practices, and all of us who gather here and afterwards to do this good work together. So for today, we are going to have a Gong meditation, which we haven't had in really quite a very, very, very long time, at least in a recorded context. So I want to tell you that if you happen to be on a particular platform currently in your way of listening, if you're on a platform that maybe isn't picking up all of the nuances of the resonance, maybe try grabbing your headphones and plugging those in and seeing how that maybe can help you. Also, if for some reason the particular platform that you're listening to this meditation today on, if it's not satisfactory, know that you can, as soon as later this evening, you can jump on over to integratives.org and you can hit replay on this meditation and on demand as much as you'd like to go into this Gong work. And regarding the sonic aspect of what we do in integrative practices, the sound current is pretty important. So do yourself that good grace of making sure that you've got some good headphones to help you out with that. So, we've covered so much terrain in this season together in these remote gatherings, and something that's really become very poignant, it's always been poignant, but it seems really poignant right now as we are separate from each other, is this kind of entanglement, or I dare say even excessive loyalty that the human being has to the mechanism of the mind. Excessive loyalty to the mind. And what that means is the flip side of that is a kind of deficiency of trust and surrender with a kind of knowingness that is beyond fact or data or object. And really that's the great invitation that the Gong is for us, is to appreciate the kind of knowing that is beyond objects, the kind of knowing that doesn't need to be recorded, that is from the boundless, that is unnameable. Sometimes when we work with the Gong, because it is so powerful, it can feel confrontational, and sometimes it can feel agitating. It can bring up a lot of emotion. It can also be incredibly blissful, and that's my hope, is that it'll be more blissful than anything else for you. But I'm just speaking to that for a moment so that you know that if at any point you feel a little intense, that's what's going on. So there's a beautiful word that I feel really fits well with the work of the Gong, and that's Bodhasambhava. And so Bodha is this blossoming. So when we do any kind of meditative work, our consciousness is blossoming to include all of existence in a beautiful, compassionate, joyful, empathic, even blissful manner. Bodha. So we're blossoming, we're opening in a way that's elegant and effortless. And then Sambhava means to come together with, to unify with, to merge. And so Bodhasambhava is blossoming into intimacy with pure consciousness. So in its finest and fullest capacity, that's what the Gong provides for us at the level of the sound current, is it's the invitation to blossom into intimacy with our unique and collective pure consciousness. So everything we do in this invisible ashram of integrative practices is about the purification process, the elevation of our life force energies, so that we can bring the truth of who we are to every context and situation and circumstance that is deconditioned from any of the beliefs or concepts or opinions that we have about self or other or anything, and that we can be in a feeling state, again, not a mental state, but we can be in a feeling state that is purely, undeniably spontaneous. So you have a couple of options. You can either sit in, just a kind of like I am, in a comfortable classical meditative position. You could even lay down if you're in your house. You can lay down and breathe it in that way. But if you are desiring a kind of activation element for your meditation today, my suggestion is that you take hold of the Jupiter lock. Okay, so the Jupiter lock, I feel, is really appropriate and auspicious for the gate that we're currently in. On Saturday, we are observing the 4th of July. And it's a very uncharacteristic 4th of July. It's a historic 4th of July in so many ways, in that we won't be gathering in all of the familiar and familial and formal ways that we have always done. And it's also the last major eclipse of this eclipse season that we're in. It's going to be a massive lunar eclipse. So there's a lot going on in the larger terrain. That's playing a role in both our being and our becoming, and also in the way in which we can appreciate the knowing that is beyond objects, in the way in which we can blossom into our pure consciousness. So the Jupiter lock, if you want to do it, you're going to lock your index fingers, and then I bring my thumbs to the ends of my index fingers while I curl my middle ring and pinky fingers into the center of my palms. So 2 options in terms of your hovering position. You can hover in front of your heart center, not touching the body, but out in the electromagnetic field. Hovering here, if you are pulling more momentum in with the intention to become more generative with your life energy. So if you're generating, and if you're projecting, if you're ready to have it all concentrated and consolidated and focused, and you're ready to deliver, then hover your Jupiter lock up here. This is a very powerful prosperity mudra. We've been working with an incredible handbag of mudras this week. And this is one that has become very beloved in our integrative practices community. So choose either here, or simply being, okay? This just, brings in another element of momentum and integration, but it's not a requirement. It's up to you, okay? So regarding your breathing, of course you can breathe in neutral, that's always an option, but you can also elect to breathe like so. So I'm making the circle-shaped lips. I'm drinking in an immense amount of oxygen and chi and prana on the inhalation, all this cosmic refreshment, and then I'm letting it escape through the nostrils. Your arms will get tired, but at about minute 3, you'll feel how there's like something else that's supporting you, and that's really a remarkable threshold to let yourself cross. And part of that crossing is developing some element of comfortability with being uncomfortable, and that's what the Gong is a most remarkable teacher for and with. So without further ado, I'm going to swirl around here. You'll be looking at my back. Ideally, you won't even be looking at me. Remember, if the sound current is less than satisfactory, plug in, okay? Give yourself maybe some good speakers or a headphone. May the force be with you. Thank you so much for being here. Take a huge, wholehearted inhalation and exhale into emptiness.